debate. For me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the skill game brought to you by Sleeper. We'll get to the Sleeper app here in a little bit. But first, want to talk to you about this Week 5 matchup between two really good teams in the Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Chargers, both coming off of tough losses in week number 4, looking to get back on track and in the win column. Chargers come into the game at 3-1. Commanders come into the game even at 2-2. So, what is it going to take for the Commanders to win this game? Same could be said for the Chargers. Start with the Commanders, the road team. Honestly, they're going to have to dominate the line of scrimmage. The Commanders are wearing their all whites, something that they don't do very often. We're going to see if they can have better success in them this year than they did last year. I think they only wore the all whites once last year, and that was on a Thursday night against the Philadelphia Eagles, and it did not go well. So all whites are always clean, but the results aren't always. We cannot always say the same for the results. Hopefully that is different in this game. Chargers will be wearing also a combination they don't wear very often. They're all powder blues, the powder blue tops and powder blue bottoms. They usually wear the Volt yellow, Bolt yellow bottoms when they wear the powder blue tops, or they wear white bottoms with the powder blue tops. They usually don't go powder blue on powder blue very often. So this will be a fun color combination for the two teams. But ultimately, when you put that stuff aside, the Commanders have to dominate the line of scrimmage. They have to dominate up front against this Chargers offensive line that is in shambles right now. They have to be able to stop the run. Amarian Hampton is coming off of his best showing as a pro in week 4 when he gashed the Giants defense for well over 100 yards, I think on only like 12 or 13 carries. It was not a lot of runs for him, but he did catch it out of the backfield as well in that game. So when you couple the catches with the runs, he had himself a hearty day last week against the Giants. It was probably his biggest workload of the young NFL season. So he's coming in with a ton of confidence, and they are coming in with a ton of confidence in him. And if he can establish that run game, it's going to be a long day for the Commanders. So they have to win up front on the line of scrimmage. Both sides, really. You have to get after Herbert. You have to get after their running game to neutralize the success there, put them in long distance, down and distance situations, and then try to get off the field on third downs. Something you weren't able to do last week, but were able to do for the first 3 weeks of the season if you are the Commanders. Also, you're going to, and I talked about winning the line of scrimmage, you got to do it on the offense too. You got to be able to run the football, take some of that pressure off of Jaden Daniels, him coming back for the first time since he injured himself in week 2. And also, you want to be able to protect Jaden Daniels. And so running the football is a form of protection for Jaden Daniels, but just flat out protecting him against a Chargers team that has not been great at getting to the quarterback. All right. They came into last week's game as one of the worst at getting to the quarterback. Then Tuli went off for 4 sacks in the game against the Giants. A lot of that was because, Jackson Dart is a rookie and making his first career start and allowed them to sack him 4 times. But ultimately, this is not a Chargers defense that gets to the quarterback a ton. So don't let this be the week that they find a way to start magically getting to the quarterback. So those are things that need to be done. The Commanders have to limit the mistakes, the penalties, the drops, the turnovers. They have to play mistake-free football here, essentially on the road against a team that's probably better than them. Who are we kidding? So they need those things to go in their favor. They have to be able to establish tempo in this game. They have to come out fast. I think starting fast is imperative for the Commanders in this game. You cannot afford another 10-0, 14-0 deficit on the road. You're just not built right now in that capacity to be able to overcome that without Terry McLaurin, without Noah Brown, without some of your better offensive weapons. You're not in a position to fall behind and expect to be able to erase that deficit. You're just not built that way right now. So it'd be in their best interest to get off to a faster start, if you're the Commanders. Those are just some of the things that they need to do to try to come out victorious. If you're the Chargers, again, protect Justin Herbert. He's been a battered man the last 2 weeks, again, against high-quality defenses, which the Commanders are not. But against the Broncos and against the Giants, he was hit like a battering ram. He was beat up like a piñata. Can they protect him this week? If they protect him, they'll have success offensively. They could protect him up front. they will have success. If they cannot protect him up front, it will be a long day for Justin Herbert in this offense yet again. Also, defensively, this is a top 5 passing defense, a top 5 scoring defense. This is a top 5 third down offense. If you're the Chargers, you need to be who you are. Convert on third downs against a stingy Commanders third down defense. We'll see who wins out in that department. If you are the Chargers, you've been stingy through the air this season. Continue to do that against a Commanders team that hasn't been great necessarily through the air this season, but has the capability to be dynamic through the air, right? You've been a top 5 scoring defense. You were the best in the league last year. You're one of the best again this year. Your calling card is to hold other teams down. It's the reason you had a chance against the Giants despite a bunch of mistakes that gave the Giants, great opportunities inside the 5-yard line of the Chargers. You found a way to be in that game with a chance to win, with ample opportunities to win because of your scoring defense, because of your red zone efficiency defensively. You found a way to beat the Broncos in a game where you turned it over. You were trailing for the vast majority of the game because of your scoring defense and the ability to keep the Broncos off the scoreboard. You do that again here against Washington, you'll probably find yourself improving your record to 4-1 on the season. So with all of that said, you know what time it is. It's time for your boy Louie T to get off the schneid. So with that said, let's get to the skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
The skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
So Sleeper is a fantasy, sports, and real money gaming app that focuses on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become one of the fastest organically growing fantasy platforms in the world with over 6 million users back in 2023. I imagine that number has ballooned to the tune of probably double digits, if not very close to it, because of people like myself and you all out there who have become new users and lovers of this Sleeper app. I don't have it, I could sit here and explain to you all of the benefits that it has provided with me. I've told you that so many times. I could shower them with superlatives, but I'm simply just going to implore you to download the app if you haven't already done so. If you want to enrich your sports watching experience, this app is going to allow you to do that. Download the app if you haven't already done so. There's a link in my description of this and every single video that I do, which will allow you to then download the app and then use my promo code LTN to get you a 100% deposit match on a deposit up to $100. That's right, a dollar for dollar match. You put in 100, they're going to give you an additional $100. Here's the thing. In October, they've got an additional promo where if you are a first-time user, you get an additional $20 for free. We're going to have more details on that come Monday, but Sleeper is killing the game right now, and I want you to get in the game. Don't sit on the bench. Get in the game. Get Sleeper. Let's have some fun. Check to make sure it is available in your state, as obviously not all states have access to Sleeper and other apps like it. So make sure you check to find out if this is in fact available in your state. It's available in over half of the United States. So let's get to making some picks here. So prayers up to Mark Sanchez. I can't imagine what happened to Dirty Chaz out in Indy that he would be stabbed, but yikes. Glad that he's okay. But what are we doing? Why are we stabbing Dirty Chaz? Yikes. Anyway, let's get to the comment section. Let's get to this app. All right. So we're going to click on NFL up here at the top. And we are going to find the Commanders and Chargers game. It's the America's game of the week, so it's all the way at 425, one of the last games on Sunday. We're going to click on that, and now we're going to go hunting for some deals. All right, let's make some picks here. All right. So we're going to start with the hot picks, see if there's anything that piques our interest here. Jaden Daniels, 216 passing yards against the number 1 pass defense, his first game back. I think I'm going to stay away from that, although I could see him, having 220 yards passing in this game, but I'm going to steer clear of that. Let's see. So Amarian Hampton, 65.5 yards rushing in this game. Let's look and see what he did this season so far. He's at 48, 24, 70, and 60, and 128 last week. I really feel like we're going to shut him down. But all it takes is one big run for him to get 65 yards. So I'm going to leave it alone, but I really think he's going to have less than 65 yards in this game. I really, truly do. Conversely, I like Bill for more than 30 yards rushing in this game. Matter of fact, I like Bill for 40 yards rushing in this game. So I'm going to put him at 40 yards. I like him for 40 yards in this game. Herbert, 1.5 passing touchdowns. Unfortunately, I do think he's going to do that. So I'll go ahead and I hope I'm wrong here. But I think Herbert's going to have 2 passing touchdowns in this game. Jaden is back, which means Zach Ertz is officially back. Ertz with more than 41 yards feels like a real thing this week. He had 64 against Green Bay. Obviously, had the catch and run touchdown. He hasn't had a really impactful season to this point. He did have the touchdown grab against the Giants. He had the touchdown against Green Bay, but he really has been quiet each of the last 2 weeks without Jaden. And it feels like he's probably due for a big game here. I don't know if he's going to get 41 yards or not. This is a stingy Chargers defense. And let's see what his receptions are. If he's at like 3.5, I'm going to take him because I think he's going to have 4 catches in this game. Chris Rodriguez, 28.5 yards. I feel like C-Rod can do that too. But then this could be the game where C-Rod doesn't break a big one and they finally turn the bill a little bit. So that's a little bit dicey. Luke McCaffrey at 17.5. Jaden just doesn't look for him. First of all, this number was, I think, a little bit lower last week. It might not have been. It might have been right around the same area. If this were Marcus, as you can see, in week 3 with Marcus, 56, he had the big one at the end. 21 last week, he had the touchdown. I would be more like willing to do this. He had 19 in the Green Bay game, but Jaden just doesn't check for him. So I don't know if I'm confident enough to do that. Matt Gay kicking 2 field goals. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Can't say that will. All right, so let's move on. Herbert, 265 throwing the football, probably going to happen. My guess is that's going to happen. But I already took him on the 2 touchdowns, so did I take him on the 2 touchdowns? Yeah, I did. So I don't need to touch his passing yards. Rush yards, we already got Bill. I don't think Jaden's going to be like, he could break a big one, but I don't see him hurting us with his leg. I can see Herbert running on us, but I already got Herbert for 2 touchdown passes, so I don't need to touch that. Receiving yards, I'm not really interested in receiving yards for anybody on this team. I could see Bill having more than 8.5 yards receiving. I could see them throwing him a screen or something like that out of the backfield, but it's just too dicey. He hasn't had the receiving yards. He had 5 and then 10 last week. Like, it's just too dicey. You're doing that for no reason. And I already got him on rush yards anyway, so I can't. I wouldn't do that. Receiving yards for J-Mac, 8.5. Yeah, that's just, again, too dicey. I could see this being a Jalen Lane game, though. I could see Jalen Lane getting more opportunities in this game. Debo getting more opportunities in this game. How much is Jalen Lane? Is it? Oh, okay, no, that's too many. If it was 9.5 or something like that, I would have taken that. Of the 3 receivers, Lad McConkey feels like the dude that's going to eat the most in this game. So I'm going to take Lad McConkey on the – let's go to receptions first. I'll come back to yards. If I don't love the receptions, then I'll come back to yards because Lad McConkey going to eat our ass a lot. Yeah, let me take Lad McConkey on these receptions. That's an easy one. He's going to have more than 5 catches. I guarantee you that. Ertz, I love it on 3.5. Ertz is going to have 4 catches in this game. So that's exactly where I wanted it to be. Let's see. Gadsden, the tight end, feels like he's going to probably be over 2.5 catches. I'll leave him alone for now, though. I'll come back. All right. I think I'm gonna leave the kickers alone in this game. I'm gonna leave the kickers alone in this game. Rushing attempts. They got nothing for us. Oh, that was pass attempts. Rushing attempts. I really want Bill to get more than 7 in this game, get to 8. I think he can get to 8, but they just been so stingy with his touches. Like, again, are we converting on third downs? Do we have more plays? If we got more plays, he's going to get more touches. I already got him for rush yards, so I can't touch him here anyway, but it's just a fun conversation. Rush and pass yards combined. Rush and receiving yards combined. I'm going to take Debo on the over on his rush and receiving. 68.5. He's going to get 2 runs at a bare minimum, and hopefully they go better than the ones that he had last week. And then he's going to have 4 or 5 catches in this game for 50-something yards, it feels like. So this feels like a big Debo game. It feels like a big Debo game. Stats, let's see who they have listed. I don't think I'm interested in. Yeah, Thule, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Let's go to touchdowns. Anytime touchdowns. I feel like Keenan Allen's going to score in this game. Down inside the red zone. And Amari and Hampton obviously could score at any time. Debo's got it anytime. Ertz has got it anytime. He feels like he's going to score in this game. Bill has it anytime. Yeah. Oh, we don't have no boost this week for us. All right. So what do I have so far? I got Bill for more than 40 rush yards. Herbert for more than Herbert for 2 passing touchdowns. McConkey for 5 catches or more. Ertz for 4 catches or more. Debo for combined 67.5 rush and receiving. Feel like I need to throw a touchdown in the mix and then we can get out of here. 1, 2, 3. We got 5 picks so far. I'm gonna throw a touchdown in here and then we gonna bounce. It's either between Amari and Hampton or Keenan Allen. I can't use Bill and I can't use Ertz because I already used them, and I can't use Debo. So nobody on our side makes sense. And I don't think Luke's gonna make it 3 weeks in a row catching a touchdown, right? So and I just don't see any of these other guys catching a touchdown. So it really feels like it's coming down to Amari Hampton or Keenan Allen. And Keenan Allen is the one that's going to offer the better multiplier, but Amari and Hampton is such a big part of what they do. But if you say that Herbert's going to have 2 passing touchdowns, you have to have confidence that Keenan Allen is going to do what you think he's going to do, which is score a touchdown. So that is where I'll go with the touchdown pass. Again, I hope I'm wrong. As much as I want to win this money, but that's where I am right now. So I got Bill for more than 40 rush yards. Let me check this one out. I think Bill can have more than 50. I'm going to be greedy. Let me see what that does. Yeah, I'm going to be greedy. I think Bill got like a 27, 28-yard run in him. That's going to make it a nice day for him. I just think you can run on this Chargers defense. I really do. I'm not overly impressed with their run defense right now. I'm taking Bill on 50. And this could be one of them shitty games where they don't play Bill, man. And we're pissed off afterwards. But that's just how I'm feeling with it. So I'm confident in everything. Bill for 50. Herbert for 1.5 pass touchdowns. Is there something I can get the demon in here on, Jaden Daniels? Let's see. Rush yards, passing touchdowns. Yeah, they won't. It's not a lot of available, and I don't want him on passing touchdowns or rushing yards. So let's stay right where we at. Bill for 50 or more yards rushing. Herbert for 2 pass touchdowns. McConkey for 5 catches or more. Ertz for 4 catches or more. Debo for 68 yards rushing and receiving combined or more. And Keenan Allen with an anytime touchdown. 6 picks can win me $586.35 on a $15 wager. Let's do it. Let me see. Make sure they don't have no promos for me, which I know. They only got the college football and the MMA. So I can't add anything there. Let's get it. All right. So that's one. So I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to add on. So I'll do my kickers edition on the next one. I want to do something every week now. I want to try something called the guarantees. Okay. The guarantees. So what is that? We're just going to go through the NFL slate. And we're going to pick out the things. So on Thursday Night Football, I told you, I said, I guarantee you Puka Nacua is going to have more than 8 catches. I think he ended up having 10 or 11, right? Like that was a guarantee for me. You're not stopping Puka Nacua from having, if he's healthy the entire game, you're not stopping him from having more than 8 catches. He's going to have 8 catches. He wakes up with Stafford at quarterback and he walks into 8 catches. So that was a guarantee for me. Let's go through the NFL slate. And let's see if we can't pick out 8 guarantees across the slate. All right. So let's go all the way back. And we're going to start with the game over in London. So here's the only thing I'm probably not going to add this into the ticket, but is there a sack stat for, I feel like Myles Garrett is getting a sack in this game. And Jonathan Grenard easily could get a sack on a rookie quarterback that's going to be running around, probably going to hold on to the ball too damn long, and Dylan Gabriel. But Garrett getting a sack feels like it's going to happen in this game. But I'm going to stay away from that. I'm going to stay away from that. Even though it feels like with what I watched from Carson Wentz, that's the same Carson Wentz that's going to hold on to the ball and take a damn sack. Matter of fact, if we find a better one, we'll come back and take this off. But let me throw Miles up here first. Carson Wentz, that's the same Wentz that I saw in Washington that's holding on to that bitch that's going to take 4 or 5 sacks during the course of the game. So, feel like he's going to get sacked at least once. Baltimore and Houston, this is a nasty game here. This is a nasty game. Without Lamar Jackson, you got to feel like they're going to try to lean on Derrick Henry. Got to. Let's see what his carries are for this game. Feels like they got no choice. Rush yards for him, 85 against this Texans defense. I think you can run on the Texans. But I just, how many rushes? That's what I'm interested in. How many rushes is this? Are you going to give me that as they probably, okay, here they go. Rush attempts. Let's see. 19.5 for Derrick Henry. That's a lot of damn rush attempts. I was hoping it was a little bit lower. He ain't had 19 all season. He ain't had 19 all season. He got to have, in my mind, he got to have 19 in this game. They saved him up last week knowing that Lamar might be out and they're going to have to use him this week. Give me Derrick Henry for more than 19.5 rush attempts. With Cooper Rush at quarterback, yeah, they're going to try to hand that puppy off. They're going to try to hand that puppy off. Miami and Carolina, anytime the Dolphins play, you should be thinking about an Achane touchdown. So let's go Devin Achane finding the end zone anytime. Receiving, rushing, it don't matter. The battle of the 2 tight ends, Colts and Vegas Raiders. I'm just going straight to their tight end, their rookie tight end. He is what Brock Bowers was last year. That is what the Colts rookie tight end is this year, Tyler Warren. So we're just going to click on Warren, and we're just going to see what all they offering for him. So 62.5 receiving yards, which, as you can see, you're looking at his yards from this season. He's more than capable of 63 yards receiving, which if I don't love everything else, I'm going to just come back to the receiving yards. Because you can bank on this dude eating in this Colts offense. Every week, they make a way for him to shine. I can see him scoring a touchdown. He had a touchdown last week. Let's see. Let's click on the touchdowns. Let me see what his stats are. Go back. Stats. Game log. Let's just go to his game log. He ain't had a touchdown receiving all season, but he had a rush touchdown last week for his first. So we're going to stay away from touchdowns with him. That doesn't make sense. Maybe he about to get hot and scoring like 6 straight games. That's very well could be the case, but you're just playing in percentages right now. 4.5 receptions. That's the one that I think is going to that's the one that I think is going to ultimately land for us. So because if you look at his stats, game log, he's had 7, 4, 3, and 5. So in 3 out of his 4 games, he's had at least 4 catches. In 2 of them, he's had at least 5. And the number's at what? Is it 4.5 or 3.5? Let me check. 4.5. Yeah, I see him getting 5 catches in this game. I see him getting 5 catches in this game versus the Raiders. All right, so probably should just go yards and stay away from catches, honestly. But we're going to go catches. I think he's going to touch it 5 times. We're going to move on to the next game. Giants and Saints. What's the rush totals for the quarterbacks? It's the rush total for the quarterbacks. Because they running Jackson Dart like he a running back. Yeah, I'm going to take the over on that. Jackson Dart had 54. I'm going to take the over on Dart running against New Orleans. Let's keep it pushing. I ain't interested in nothing else in that game. Dallas at the Jets. So we see what it's going to be. Like, the Jets play a lot of man-to-man. They've been giving it up on the ground, too. So what's Williams' rush total for this game? Let's see what his rush total is. 60, that's too many yards, even though he probably is going to get it. This Jets defense has been giving it up all season. Let's go to receiving yards, and then we'll go for Pickens. Feels like he's going to, I don't know, because Sauce could make it a long day for him. What did he do against the Bears? Yeah, see, he didn't get 70 against the Bears. He had a drop or 2, though, in that game as well. Well, let me see. Receptions. I might leave this one alone. I might leave this game alone. Yeah, they got all these dudes with 6 receptions. I don't love it. All right, Justin Fields. Well, his rush number always like damn near 50. I think I'm going to just leave this game alone. 51 now. Yeah, I'm going to leave that shit alone. Dallas been stopping the run. I might even put Breece Hall under the 66.5 yards. I'm going to take the under because Dallas run defense, they pass defense stink, but they run defense. They've been running the hell out of that shit. They've been playing the hell out of that. I'm going to take less for Breece. You know, all they take is one big run, but I think they're going to shut his ass down. So I'll take less on Breece. And then I don't want this to leave 1 o'clock. I want to know if I won by the end of the 1 o'clock games. Shit. Did I take the sack? I'm going to check to see. I might already know if my shit busted up or not. Eagles and Broncos. The only thing I can be certain of is that field goals will be kicked in this game. That is the only thing I can be certain of. Field goals will be kicked in this game. Let's check the kick points first, and then we'll go to field goals made. Let's check the kick points. 6.5. If it ain't 5.5, then I ain't loving it. Because 6.5 means you got to score 2 touchdowns and a field goal, or 1 touchdown and 4 field goals, or 4 touchdowns and a field goal. That's too many damn scores. I don't see the Broncos scoring that damn much. So yeah, give me field goals made. I think both of these teams gonna kick field goals. I'm gonna take both their kickers to do that in this game. I think this is gonna be a defensive struggle. Which means I'm gonna have both of these kickers in my kicker edition this week for sure. All right, so let's go look and see what we did. I got Myles Garrett for a sack, Derrick Henry for more than 20 attempts in the game against the Texans. Devin Achane for a touchdown against the Panthers. Tyler Warren for 5 catches over the Vegas Raiders. Jackson Dart's going to run for more than 38 yards against the Saints. Breece Hall is going to run for less than 67 yards less than 67 yards against the Cowboys defense. And both Jake Elliott and Will Lutz in their game are going to kick at least 2 field goals. Lutz is a little bit of a wild card, but if they're going to win this game, they're going to need Lutz to step up. So 8 picks. If I get them all right, $1,224 coming to the kid on a $15 wager. Let's get it. I don't have any promos here to use, so this is what it's going to be. Hopefully, I'll be coming back and telling you I hit this. But we're going to do this every week. We're going to do guarantees, and we're going to do kickers. And the kickers edition will be on the one I'm about to do for the Buffalo Bills and New England Patriots. So submit this one, and we'll know by the 1 o'clock hour, by 4:25 if your boy had some success here. But we'll take a look at all of these later on down the line. But that is going to do it for the skill game, brought to you by Sleeper.
The skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
So we've got one more skill game, Patriots Bills. Looking forward to doing that with you guys. Did you see the new winter uniforms the Bills are going to be wearing on Sunday? Those shits are so crispy. Oh my gosh. I put it on the thumbnail, but boy, those are going to be clean on a Sunday night. Ay. Anyhow, we'll be back to break that game down, what we think is going to ultimately play itself out there, and then let's make some picks, and then we'll get our kicker picks too on that one as well. So that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T. Don't forget to use the Sleeper app. Use my promo code LTN to get you a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. Till next time, I'm your man Louie T, signing off. See you next time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.